friends, I am Rishmita from 4th class. So in this video, I am going to tell you how seasons are formed. So if you want to see how days and nights are formed, see my previous video about how days and nights are formed. So I'll keep the video link in the description. Let's come to our concept. So before learning how seasons are formed, let's see a small introduction. This is known as the globe, which is the model of Earth. Earth and the globe are in the spherical shape. This is the sun, which is the hottest star in the solar system. And before learning how seasons are formed, we need to see four main concepts. Those are two movements performed by the Earth, then the latitudes on the Earth, tilted shape of the Earth, then what is summer, what is winter. So now let's see them. So first let's see the two movements performed by the Earth. Earth rotates on its own axis like this. So it is known as rotation. For rotation, Earth takes 24 hours, which is known as 1 day. And like this, the Earth rotates and turns around the sun. So turning around the sun is known as revolution, which takes 365 days, which is known as 1 year. And concept number 2, latitudes on this line. So before that, let's see what is North Pole and the South Pole. So this is the North Pole. Which pole is present at the which pole is present at the top is known as North Pole. The pole which is present at the bottom is known as the South Pole. So now let's see latitudes. So what are longitudes and latitudes? These vertical lines are known as longitudes and these horizontal lines are known as latitudes. So in previous video for days and nights formation, we used to see longitudes. For seasons formation, we need to see latitudes. So there are 180 latitudes. So we call them as 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree in that names with the degree names. But some are specifically named. What are those? Let's see them. This red line is known as the equator. So this red line will divide the northern and the southern hemisphere. So and also this equator helps us to equal the northern and the southern hemisphere. So it is equaling the Earth into two parts. So it is known as the equator. And at northern hemisphere, there is a line that is known as Tropic of Cancer, which is 23.5 degrees from the equator. And one more line which is 66.5 degrees from the equator, that is known as Arctic Circle. So if we go into this Arctic Circle, it is very cool. And same repeats and same degrees is there in the southern hemisphere. But the names are little different. So from this equator to this Tropic of Capricorn line, we have 23.5 degrees from equator. And then we have 66.5 degrees from this equator to Antarctic Circle. So same, if we go into this Antarctic Circle also, it's very cool. But remember a thing, if we go into the circles, 6 months will be days and 6 months will be nights. At the end of the video, let's see how they are formed. So now, number 3, which is tilted shape of the Earth. Whenever you see the Earth, now we are saying that this Earth is in a tilted position. From this North Pole to South Pole, there is a cross line but not the straight line. It is useful to us. So how? Let's see it. I'll explain you what is tilting. So now you can see that this stick is in tilted position. So the Earth is also in the tilted position. Now it is in correct position. Now let's see, this is in tilted position. So this is helpful us. So how it is helpful us? So let's see it. When I keep this pillow here, it is in straight position. So when the sunrise falls on this equator, the sunrise is falling on this Tropic of Cancer. So now the sunrise is falling on this equator. So when the earth rotates, also the sunrise falls only in this equator. So the areas which are present around the equator will get the hot. Where it is hot, it's very hot. We will die with the hot. And at northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, it's very cool. We will die with the cool. So it is helpful. The earth is helpful when it is tilted for learning the seasons and for formation of the seasons. Now let me explain what is summer and what is winter. So now the sunrise is falling on this equator. So what is summer? Summer is characterized by hot. So when the sunrise is falling directly on this line, which is equator. So the sunrise is falling directly. We think that it's hot. So when we think that it's hot, we think that it's summer because the summer is characterized by hot. And what is winter? Now you can see that there is lighting but not the exact lighting here at this area. So that when the sunrise is not directly falling, it's little cool. So winter is characterized by cool. When we think it's cool, it is winter. Now let's see how seasons are formed. So for my convenience, I have used rotation in the place of revolution in the place of rotation. I'll just move it like this so that think in the position of revolution. So now the sunrise is falling on this equator. Whenever you see at March 22nd, at southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere, we get the equal days and equal nights. When the sunrise directly falls on this equator, we call it as equinox. So at March we get the spring seasons. So when we get the spring season, we call it as spring equinox. When we get the autumn season, we call it as autumn equinox. So when the sunrise falls on this equator, we call it as equinox, right? So we call it as eq if we remove the nox. So eq is equal, nox is nights. So we get the equal nights, means also we get the equal days. After 3 months, the earth rotates and sun place will be changing. So now the sunrise is currently falling on this Tropic of Cancer. At June 22nd, the sunrise will directly fall on this June 22nd. Whenever you observe, we get the summer season also in June 22nd. And also whenever you observe, June 22nd is the longest day in summer. After 3 months, again earth rotates, sun place will change. Now the sunrise is falling on equator. At September 22nd, we call it as autumn equinox, and the sunrise will fall on this equator. Then also we get the equal days and equal nights. After that, the earth rotates and the sun place will change. At December 22nd, the sunrise correctly falls on this Tropic of Capricorn. So it is known as summer for southern hemisphere and winter for northern hemisphere. And previously I have told you for 6 months for northern pole and southern pole, 6 months will be days and 6 months will be nights. So now let's see them. So now the sunrise is falling on this equator at March 22nd. So whenever you see, the sunrise is falling on this equator. and it takes 3 months to come from equator to Tropic of Cancer. At that 3 times the northern pole will get the sunlight, and also until the sunrise goes down, means from Tropic of Cancer to equator, also it takes 3 months. So at that time also this north pole will get the lighting. So now it's day for the northern pole, and when this lighting will come to this northern pole, the southern pole will have the night, and then the sunrise will come down at December 22nd. So in 3 months the southern hemisphere will get the lighting, and from Tropic of Capricorn to equator it takes 3 months. So that 3 months also the southern pole will get the lighting. Remember a thing, whenever you get the day for North Pole, the southern pole will have the night. Whenever you get day for southern pole, it's night for northern pole. So like this the seasons are formed. If you like this video, please like, share, comment and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.